Chapter 18. The evacuation site was crowded with families and people trying their best to get on to the few trucks present at the evacuation site. "Women and children first," yelled the soldiers guarding the trucks. "Come on, move forward." "Vanya?" asked Katyusha. "It'll be okay, Katyusha. You go on ahead of me. I'll find a way," said Vanya as he did his best to move her towards the line for the trucks. "No!" yelled Katyusha. "I'm not going to leave you. I can't." "Please, Katyusha. I can't lose you. Go," begged Vanya. "No. A life without you is not one worth living. You've done so much for me now, to help me, and you're the only one who really loves me like this. I don't even have Nona anymore to be with me." "But what about the baby?" asked Vanya. I began Katyusha. I don't want to lose them either, but I can't stand the idea of raising them with no father. Besides, what is worse than death, leading a life without meaning? There are many fish in the sea, Vanya, but none like you." Vanya held Katyusha for a moment before hearing the truck starting. "Katyusha," he said. "No, I'm not letting go," she argued as she pulled herself closer to Vanya. The people in line rushed forward as they tried to get on board, but were forced back by the soldiers. "Damn it!" groaned Vanya as he watched the trucks leave. A burst of AA fire made everyone fall down and take cover. Artillery shells burst not too far from the evacuation site. "Do we have any soldiers in the crowd?" asked one of the guards. "Former military, either side is fine. We need volunteers, police, medics, anyone who can and will fight." Vanya looked up to see the guard pacing back and forth. No one around him were raising their hands. "Please, we need volunteers. Our numbers are dwindling. The enemies will begin targeting the site if we lose our current posture." Vanya rose his hand and called, I am ex-military." "Vanya, wait!" cried Katyusha. The guard called to him and asked, "What position?" "Commandant," he replied. "I too. Former tank commander," yelled Katyusha. The guard motioned to her as well. "Katyusha, no," said Vanya as he turned back to face her. "I won't let you fight alone. If you're going to, I am too. This is my fight. I started this whole mess, with my actions." Some of the crowd turned to Katyusha. "Hey, it's that bitch who started the first civil war," yelled one of the men waiting in line. "She's the one who caused all this," yelled another, beginning to move towards her. A burst of gunfire from overhead caused everyone to fall to their knees. "Enough! I said any side is fine," yelled the guard. "And if this woman will step up and none of you will, I don't think there's any right for you to speak out against her. If you do, then I personally will send you to the field myself. Now, are there any other volunteers?" "I am," spoke a man from the back. He stood hunched over somewhat, and Vanya recognized him as Mr. Bordoff. "I have served in the Great War, the last Civil War, and in peace times. I've done everything from artillery to infantry." "And I," spoke another from the back. "I've driven military trucks before." "All right then, all of you come forward." "Katyusha," whispered Vanya. "We'll be okay, Vanya. I love you," she said, squeezing his hand. "We need you to commandeer a ZSU at the end of town. There are trenches dug to get you there, but be wary of artillery fire. Once there, your job will be to use the ZSU with enhanced radar capabilities to provide CRAM support for the area. The radar can easily track light rockets and mortars, though I must warn you, it may struggle tracking artillery." "CRAM?" asked the unnamed volunteer. "Counter-rocket artillery and mortar." "You want us to shoot artillery out of the sky?" asked Bordoff. "The ZSU is radar-assisted. All you need to do is load shells and shoot. The loading is already done for you as of now, and the radar system does most of the aiming. It will need to be reset every few minutes, especially in weather like this. You might get some ghost detections, but if you link up with the artillery crews, you might be able to tether your radar to theirs for more accurate readings," answered the guard. Well, if all we need are loaders and gunners to shoot the thing, began Bordoff. You'll be driving around to help our counter-battery teams. We can't pinpoint where the shots are coming from in this blizzard. Once things clear up, we can use their shots to locate the enemy and take them out, replied the guard. So I guess we'll be going then, huh? Said the unnamed volunteer. Yes, I think so too, replied Bordoff. The four departed and moved through the muddy trenches. In spite of the cold, fires set along the way had melted snow, causing it to soak into the ground. I'm Mikhail, by the way. And you? Said the until then unnamed volunteer. Anton, replied Mr. Bordoff. Vanya, said Vanya. And I'm Katyusha, replied Katyusha. No shit. Katyusha, the old dictator? Man, I didn't believe when the crowd were saying that you were there, replied Mikhail. Yes. I'm not like that anymore, though, she replied. No? Well, that's a shame. I think this place could use some order. After all, it's already gone to shit. What this place needs is people who are capable of governing themselves, replied Vanya. You think so? Asked Mikhail. I do,